Hi, we have a OMAP Zoom-II device from Texas Instruments here, and today we are going to show you how to convert it to an OMAP Zoom-III, which will be running a 3630 processor as opposed to the 3430 that's currently running on the Zoom-II device. So before we get started, we have to actually replace the SOM, so you have to deal with the printed circuit boards, so you might want to wear a ESD strap before we handle the PCBs. So basically in the back of the Zoom-II, all you have to do is remove the battery cover, and there are 4 screws on the 4 corners of the Zoom-II device that you have to unscrew. So I'll just do that and remove the camera cover and remove the back of the Zoom-II. And basically this is what's known as the SOM, system on module, which has the actual 3430 processor and the memory. So with a little bit of force you just pull it out basically and replace it with the OMAP3630 processor SOM, the system on memory. So when you're putting it back, make sure that there are some indentations to your left corner matches with what's on the main board there. And usually there's a logic sign that will show up on your right when you're doing this. That'll give you some indication of how to put it back in. I think it's in. Then replace the back of the Zoom-II. Now it's actually a Zoom-III, and when you're doing this, I forgot to mention you have to use a special screwdriver to remove the screws, and it's actually known as a hex 1.3 millimeter screwdriver. So I just want one piece of information that you may want to remember. Okay, the 4 screws are back in, camera cover is back in, and battery cover I'll just leave it out because I need to plug it back into the debug board here. And so I'll try to power this right now. The 3630 SOM we just replaced comes pre-flashed with a bootloader as well as a kernel. In the kernel we are actually printing a splash screen that indicates omapzoom.org, which should come, there you go. So it should point users to omapzoom.org, where you can find more information about this and many other information that you will need when you're working with the OMAP Zoom based devices. So basically that's flashed in NAND. So let me just power this back off and try to actually boot an actual file system, which is in my SD card here. I've got an Angstrom file system on this SD card, so we'll use that to boot Angstrom. So that's the kernel, that's the file system coming up. You'll see an Angstrom screen here, which is what you're seeing now. And there you go, that's the boot up screen for Angstrom, and it shows your SD card being mounted and etc. So there you go. Then now you have a OMAP Zoom 3 based on a OMAP3630 processor from Texas Instruments.